alternative and grunge from the era of video store late fees.
What the hell?
Come in
No!
and check out Lithium on SiriusXM.
Hi, I'm Kat Corbett on Lithium, and I welcome to the studio Mark Hoppus and Matt Skiba from blink-182. Welcome, gentlemen.
Well, thanks for having us.
You are here with the new Car Smell studio in Los Angeles.
Great. I love this new spot you guys have.
Windows.
It's still under construction.
Yeah, windows. I can see the world. It's amazing.
It's weird. It's weird to be in a radio station and have natural light.
Tell me about it. So you guys are doing the Enema of the State tour, the 20th anniversary. Obviously, on Lithium, that record is part of the DNA of the 90s.
Thank you.
And we played a lot of tracks from that. I want to know, when this tour came up, whose idea it was, and was there any trepidation from anyone about going down this road?
About playing Enema of the State in its entirety?
Yes.
I think that it just felt natural. It was kind of bubbling underneath the surface for the entirety of us getting ready for this tour. And then we played it back to the beach, and it felt really fun. Mm-hmm. And we decided, why not do it for this entire summer?
Wow, it's just easy as that.
It's literally as easy as that. And I love that Blink has that history to be able to pull from and say, oh, you know what? We're going to do something totally different than a normal tour, and we're going to play all of Enema of the State, and then we're going to play a bunch of hits, and then we're going to do some special stuff, and then Travis has his drum thing that's ridiculous, and it's going to be awesome.
I love it. I love that you guys embraced it, because some of my favorite bands have been doing that, like The Cure and Pixies. They've been doing these landmark albums from their careers, and so it's been really fun to kind of go back, be nostalgic, but then also they're still relevant in playing new music, so it's kind of a nice atmosphere.
Thanks, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I like that we're being held in the esteem of The Cure and the Pixies. That's rarefied air to be flying in.
I know you've played The Cure many times. I've seen you do them cover songs during Blink shows. If there's like the top Cure song for you, Mark, obviously I know you're a fan. Matt?
I'm a huge fan. I have a Cure tattoo on my knuckles.
What is it?
Love Song.
Oh.
It's also a Damned tattoo, depending on the situation. They're both called Love Song, and I love both those bands. There's it's like a D-side, Cut Here.
Oh, Cut Here is such a great song.
Such a good song, yeah. It's there's a bunch of amazing Cure songs that are deep cuts.
That are your favorite.
Yeah.
It says a lot that The Cure has like 5 different greatest hits albums.
It's insane.
I would say the quintessential Cure song for me is going to be Boys Don't Cry.
Yeah. That's one of the amazing ones for me. I remember seeing that video, and I think maybe it was the first time they had those cameras attached to the artist.
Yeah.
Where he's wobbling around the room.
Did Tim Pope do that video? Because I know that he did a bunch of their stuff.
He probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's doing the anniversary movie about
He is,
them.
really?
Yeah, he's doing the live 40th anniversary live movie doc that's going to come out.
Oh, I didn't even know about this.
Tim
I'm glad
Pope's
to learn.
doing it. Yes.
Nice.
Why don't we play the Cure on Lithium right now?
Yes.
Let's do that. It's Blink-182 in studio. Mark and Matt, I'm Kat Corbett, and we're talking about the Enema of the State tour, which you guys are doing with Lil Wayne. I'm sure you've been asked a million times, but please tell me why Lil Wayne. What is this connection that I'm missing?
It really started with our agency and Live Nation. They suggested touring with Lil Wayne, and Travis had toured with Lil Wayne a bunch in the early 2000s. And I think that in the year 2019, genre was kind of dead.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like a cool way to have different styles of music on the same stage on the same night. And we thought it was awesome, and Wayne kills it. And I don't know, it seems like it's going to be a fun summer.
I love that you guys went down that road and we're like, no, we don't have to have another punk band, or we don't have to have another, alternative band.
Yeah.
We're doing this.
I saw the Sisters of Mercy with Public Enemy one time.
That's awesome.
We toured together.
When alternative music was crazy, right?
Yeah.
When you could do all that stuff.
What was that album that came out in the night? This is probably a perfect thing for Lithium. What was it like where they had hip hop artists and like Dinosaur Jr. work together on the soundtrack for an album?
Oh, and it was Rage Against the Machine did it with Cypress Hill.
Something like that.
Yeah, and there was a Linkin Park one.
If only there was a tool I could look.
I wish there was some.
I wish there was a little phone that knew everything.
I could look.
Wish there was some portal into all of the accumulated knowledge and art of man.
We're gonna.
Yeah.
You know what? Just tweet at Kat Corbett or at Blink-182.
Yeah, please help us out. We can't place it right now, and we don't get the internet in this new building.
Maybe we'll just play Rage Against the Machine now, and we'll think about it.
Yes.
How about that? All right. It's Lithium with Blink-182 in studio on SiriusXM. I have Blink-182 in studio at Lithium. Thanks for coming in. They're embarking on a giant 20th anniversary tour of Enema of the State. We just figured out Judgment Night. We finally came around.
That's what it was.
Even before I got it up on the internet.
Yeah.
How crazy. It's very 90s.
Yeah. That was a good pull. You remembered it.
Amazing. So you guys, we have this tour that you're on, and you just released a new song, Generational Divide.
Yes.
Mark, give us a little. I heard you off mic talking about this song.
Yeah, that song originated with me and my son getting in an argument on the way to me dropping him off at the bus stop. And I dropped him off at the bus stop, and I drove to the studio, and we were all there, and we'd say, well, what's happening in everyone's lives? Anything anybody wants to talk about? And I was like, yeah, I got in a fight with my son, argument with my son on the way to school. And so Generational Divide came out of that.
Normally, I'd be like, 50-second song. This is like these guys messing around, and, they just kind of dropped this one. It's like cool thing, and it's perfect.
Thank you.
Like, it's a perfect amount of, but I kind of want another verse.
Well, I'll tell you the origin of this song. Originally, it started off with a 3-minute song before that song, and it was kind of in the spirit of the Beatles, She's Leaving Home. It kind of went from 4/4 time to 3/4 time, and then back in, and it kind of... the idea was nothing changes if nothing changes, about, family and life and everything else. And then it ramped up into this really fast minute-long song at the end. And we ended up liking the minute-long song at the end more than we liked the beginning part of it, so we just edited that part out.
I love it. I want to talk about Enema of the State. And, I think back to 1999 and when this came out, for me, it's definitely a photo album of memories. Like, I remember exactly where I was and what was going on.
What was going on with you back in the
I was
late
new
90s?
to Los Angeles.
From where?
From Boston.
Okay.
And I wanted to get my radio job. I was trying to get a radio job, and I was like, I have to go to Weenie Roast. And that was the year blink-182 played Weenie Roast.
Awesome.
It was June of 1999 when you released the album.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I was. 1999, Matt, obviously you were doing other things, and Mark, what do you remember that headspace of, was there excitement? Is it all a blur?
Yeah, I was living in Chicago, touring. Yeah, 99 was the first year that Alkaline Trio started touring. Like, we quit our jobs, dropped out of school, whatever we were doing, but I was in Chicago playing in Trio.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Mark,
99 was an awesome year, possibly the best year of my life. Enema of the State came out. Blink Star really took off. We'd been touring for years and years before that, and barely scraping by and having a great time doing it. And then Enema of the State just kind of launched us into the stratosphere, and I met my future wife then, and our band went from playing tiny clubs to playing arenas and amphitheaters, and it was the culmination of all of our hard work and all of our dreams coming true. It was like that scene in a movie where a band hears their song on the radio for the first time.
That thing you do moment,
That's
say
the
all
one.
the time.
Yep, it's exactly that feeling where you just want to roll down the window and shout at the world.
On the other end of the mic, I feel that way. I'm not jaded at all, especially when I play a new song. That's how I feel. So I know that crazy rush is, and so I love that you had that. You've had it many times over.
We are very lucky. We have had it many times over, and I still get excited when I hear our song on the radio, and I still get excited when I walk into a record store and I see, our album on the wall or something like that. I don't know. I hope I never get sick of it. That would really suck to get jaded to the point where you're like, oh yeah, there's our song on the radio again.
Keep it down while I'm in here.
Yeah.
That's awkward. It's blink-182 in studio, because we're on Lithium, and, you guys, this 90s we're talking about, and you guys were kind of, you were in the punk side of the 90s, but, there's a lot of the grunge era.
Mm-hmm.
Were any of those bands, were you fans of any of those bands at the time, or was it just you were in your own headspace with what you were doing?
Oh, no. I grew up in the 90s loving, all kinds, the whole Sub Pop, Mudhoney. Yeah.
Mudhoney, I love playing Touch Me, I'm Sick all the time. That's one of my faves to play here.
Yeah, and I used to live in the middle of the desert and come down to LA every single weekend and go to the Palace and go to the Palladium and see all these bands. And, I remember seeing Sonic Youth with this new band called Nirvana opening up for them and really being blown away by Nirvana. And I actually had Kurt broke a string while he was playing at the Palladium, and he ripped it off the guitar, and I was right in the front row, and he dropped it, and it was right on the stage, and so I picked it up, and so I had a Kurt Cobain guitar string for a long time, and I remember being at the Palace, and this was right when Kurt and Courtney started dating, and I was always in the front row at these shows, and Nirvana were playing, and I think it was a Rock the Vote benefit or something like that, and I saw Courtney walking backstage, I'm like, oh, that's Kurt's girlfriend, and being all blown away by that. So yeah, I think that the grunge scene definitely influenced a lot of, not necessarily melodically, but I don't know, that ethos. And when Blink started off in San Diego in, the early 90s, San Diego was supposed to be they were calling it the new Seattle, because there were all these nouveau kind of grunge bands like Rocket from the Crypt and Drive Like Jehu and bands like that coming out of San Diego.
I think that's amazing that you were so, like, that guitar string. You couldn't see me, but I have my mouth open while he's telling you this story, because it's those little things that mean so much, especially, when you can look back and think like, wow, I was really a fan trying so hard to become what I was seeing.
Yeah.
Like that meant so much to you.
We went the next day, after we saw Nirvana open up for Sonic Youth. We went to Aaron's Records here in Los Angeles, which was the coolest record store in Los Angeles at the time, and bought Bleach, which had just come out.
Yeah. I mean, like, what an album, too. I just remember hearing, like, I didn't know Love Buzz was a cover, and then it led me to, like, The Shocking Blue, and About a Girl was such a great track. I loved playing that.
I didn't know that Love Buzz was a cover until right now. Did you know that, Matt?
I didn't know that.
God,
dang
just
it.
blow your mind.
Yeah.
I feel like we should play it.
What's the band that it's a cover from?
Shocking Blue.
Shocking
They're like a
Blue.
60s band.
Okay, awesome.
Yes. Why don't we play Love Buzz right
Yes,
now?
please.
All right. It's blink-182 in studio at Lithium. It's Lithium. I'm Kat Corbett of blink-182 in studio. Mark and Matt, they are on tour with Lil Wayne playing Enema of the State in full. Couple questions and I'll let you go. Do you guys ever mess up at this point on stage?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah. You
Yes.
just play through it?
Yeah. Well, what I do sometimes is if I miss a note, then at the end of the song I'll go back and I'll play that note for the crowd so they feel like they didn't miss out. Like, they paid good money, they spent their evening with us. If I mess up a note, I'm going to go back and correct
They're
the mistake.
watching you through a tiny screen. You want to make sure
Yeah.
that they saw that and heard that note. All
Yes.
right, cool. All right, Matt, what about you?
All the time. Jay Bentley from Bad Religion years ago told me that with music like ours, they're punk rock mistakes, because the songs are so fast that the mistakes they're over before anyone can notice.
I always, growing up, so punk rock really resonated with me, like huge. Like, I just got obsessed with The Clash. I got obsessed with the Sex Pistols, started there. And I loved that it was messy and there were mistakes. And I hate a perfect show. I hate a perfect live show.
Yeah,
So
Well, you'll love a Blink show then.
Yeah.
We got a band for you.
I've seen you many times. But you know what I'm saying? Like, anybody can play it perfectly. That's why pop music drives me crazy. I mean, although they're not really playing, but...
I remember seeing Bad Religion and just being so blown away by how sweaty and hot and energetic and frenetic. It felt like I was living in a crucible during that show. And so I love that energy, and I love walking out on stage and knowing that anything can happen. And sometimes you walk out and you kill it and it's perfect, and sometimes you walk out and, I'll have a weird show, but Matt will have an amazing show, and we'll go backstage and Matt will be like, no, that show was awesome. I'll be like, yeah, but I messed up that one. Nobody cares. You know?
Exactly. Like I said, I would rather, no one's going to see that show again.
Or if they, the thing I've learned is the audience only cares as much as you do. Like, I've seen bands, I won't name names, but people having a fit on stage and it just kills the vibe.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you make a mistake and just move on or make a joke out of it or whatever. It's live. It's, there's variables and accidents happen.
They do.
But sometimes there's mistakes that are not punk rock mistakes. They're very long, awkward mistakes. like grabbing... They're yacht rock mistakes, like grabbing the wrong guitar.